Oh, I'm already laughing. Welcome to Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. I'm here today with a great comedian. His name is John Campanelli. You can find him at John Campanelli 1 on all his socials, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. He's here with me and my beloved Eddie Connor, the psychic medium du jour. He's in the house, in the hizzy. He's here to do his numerological expertise and find love for Mr. Campanelli. I also have a Lauren Rainbow. I always want to say Lauren Sunshine because she is a ray of sunshine, and she is coming to you from the East Coast. She's a intuitive, clairvoyant, psychic medium. She was on the show with Naomi Wolf and killed it. They came in skeptics, and this woman brought it home. I think they're best friends now. So, I couldn't get her to get off the show. She was like, "Oh, I'm a skeptic," and then it was 2 hours later. So, but anyway, she was on our alien show. I don't know if anybody saw that at Halloween. That was kind of fun. And what we didn't realize was that we were going to have drones flying around New Jersey and flashing their lights in the direction of the Empire State Building soon thereafter. So I thought that was kind of odd. Did you know? Isn't that weird? Anyway, so we are here with John because he is looking for love. After our sponsor break, we're going to bring on 6 beautiful women who are going to do a psychic speed dating dance. We are going to try to use spirit and spiritual guides to give us help with John's love life. We also, after the first hour, we're going to have an intuitive come in, completely cold, no information. Her name is Psychic Rebel Colby. I think she's coming in at the 12 o'clock hour. We're on Pacific Standard Time. She will be bringing in her spirit guides to sort of seal the deal and figure out what John should be looking for in a girlfriend, a lover, a best friend, a good cook, whatever he should be looking for. Partner, let's just say that. He looks a little worried right now, so
well, can I chime in?
Yeah, so I will let you chime in right after the break, and then we will come back and do a little intro. No.
It's like,
no.
Well, you've heard me praise Paleo Valley's grass-fed finished beef bone broth and the delicious meat sticks. I now want to turn it over to Paleo Valley founder and CEO, Autumn Smith, to tell you about her company's food philosophy.
I'm here to help create the products that make healthy food convenient in our modern world. The diet and the food you're consuming is absolutely related to your digestive health, to your mental health, to every aspect of your health. The devil's in the details here. And not only do we have to attend to every single ingredient, we have to support a system with whole foods. And so when we source a product, it's going to be organic, it's going to be tested for pesticides, and then it's going to be grass-fed and finished or pasture-raised. It's going to be raised on regenerative American farms.
The protein sticks that come in 8 varieties are likewise impeccably sourced and prepared.
And the fermentation process came about because there was an ingredient that I didn't like in meat sticks that's pretty widespread. It's called encapsulated citric acid. And it's derived from GMOs and then hydrogenated oil. And it just melts into the beef stick. And you don't have to label it. That's the thing. You can label it citric acid.
Make 2025 a year to cut out the chemicals and feed yourself correctly. Go to drdrew.com/Paleo Valley for 15% off your first order, 20% off when you subscribe. That is drdrew.com/Paleo Valley. I'm excited to bring you a new product, a new supplement, Fatty. I take it. I make Susan take it. My whole family takes it. This comes out of, believe it or not, dolphin research. The Navy maintains a fleet of dolphins. And a brilliant veterinarian recognized that these dolphins sometimes developed a syndrome identical to our Alzheimer's disease. Those dolphins were deficient in a particular fatty acid. She replaced the fatty acid, and they didn't get the Alzheimer's. Humans have the same issue, and we are more deficient in this particular fatty acid than ever before. And a simple replacement of this fatty acid called C15 will help us prevent these syndromes. It's published in a recent journal called Metabolites. It's a new nutritional C15. Pentadecanoic acid, it's called. The deficiency that we are developing for C15 creates something called the cellular fragility syndrome. This is the first nutritional deficiency syndrome to be discovered in 75 years and may be affecting us in many ways, and as many as 1 in 3 of us. This is an important breakthrough. Take advantage of it. Go to fatty15.com/Dr. Drew to receive 15% off a 90-day starter kit subscription, or use code Dr. Drew at checkout for that 15% off, or just go to our website, drdrew.com/fatty15. When we first partnered with Active Skin Repair, little did I know that our granddaughter Eloise's parents were already using the brand product on her tender skin. That is the hydrogel spray, which comes in 3 strengths, baby, kids, and adults. It harnesses the power of the body's own immune system to heal rashes, cuts, scrapes, bug bites, even eczema and dermatitis. Here's the company founder and CEO, Justin Gardner.
The technology was just kind of really mind-blowing to me on how simple, but how effective it was.
The key ingredient is hypochlorous acid, a clinically proven antimicrobial molecule already used in hospitals.
What's really cool about it is, again, no toxicity. So you're not using any harsh antiseptics. It's non-cytotoxic. So when you're putting it on, you're killing the bacteria, but you're not hurting any of those healthy cells that your body's producing to actually help heal itself.
I have been using Active Skin Repair's hyaluronic serum on my face, and the results have been great. It's one of the only products I can use. Try them both by picking up the bundle for 20% off at drdrew.com/skin repair. That again is drdrew.com/skin repair.
I have on my show too. Oh, hi everybody. We're back. And I was just boasting that I had Bob Saget and Theo Vaughn on my show back in the day. And I was talking to John Campanelli. Welcome, John.
Thank you, John.
Oh, wait. Is Sean your
my alter ego?
Is that your grandmother?
Yes.
Sean, your grandfather? No, I'm kidding. I was telling him that he reminds me of Bob Saget, who was also on Calling Out with Susan Pinsky, I don't know, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And he is such a nice guy, but you've had other people tell you that.
I have randomly, and I don't really see it, but I think it's more of what you're saying. It's something about my voice and cadence or something.
Yes. Yes, he has a very sweet voice.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
You're a Life Path 7. Bob was a Life Path 7. Your focus this year is, Bob, if he were here, would be a 22 this year. You're born in a 22 year. and you're born on a 3-day and he's born in a 3-year with 22 focus. So your numbers match, or 3 out of 4.
Wow.
So there's that similarity.
Explain
What a
this.
coincidence.
Explain this to me like I'm 5. What does that mean?
So the 7 is the life path. So you have a genius mentality.
Okay, I agree.
You do what you were born to do when you're doing it. The 3 makes you super charismatic.
Okay.
And the 22 is the builder. Whatever you touch that you're interested in, you will build on it and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. With your pants on or off.
Okay.
Evidently, Bob did the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Did you ever see The
That's
Aristocrats?
actually really nice. Yeah, I did see The Aristocrats.
Okay, so I was explaining to everybody before the show that psychic speed dating was a concept I came up with in a bar when I was with Rebecca Fearing and Robin Delano, and we've always wanted to try. Robin's over there. She's producer, crack producer. She is. But we wanted to produce a TV show, something like that, because it actually sold to a production company, and we are now going to give it a shot from my point of view, the way I would have done it. And basically what it is I have a bachelor or a single man. I don't like the word bachelor. Do you like the word bachelor? It's weird.
No.
It's a weird name.
Yeah, they don't call women bitchlers.
Yeah, bachelor.
Okay. I got to be careful on what I weigh in on, but yeah.
Anyways, he's single and he's not dating anybody. He's not married. He's a lovely person.
I'm not dating anybody, but I am married.
Oh, you are married?
No, I'm not married. I'm kidding.
Well, we all have to go home now.
No, kidding.
So he is going to do a classic speed dating thing where he talks to 6 lovely women that we have here via Zoom. They've all agreed to come on, and I'm going to go by the date of the month they were born in order, and they all get to say, hi, my name is, and I am and I, nice to meet you, and just so, we can all get to know you. And then we're going to bring in Lauren, who is she's going to be the psychic in the ear of the women. She's over there. She's going to decide who gets to go first, and that John gets to talk to first. And we're going to go by her intuition or by whatever she's getting from Spirit. Spirit is with her. She probably has a lot of different personalities coming at her all at once, because when you're a clairvoyant medium, all of a sudden somebody named Joe shows up, and she may even have to say that first and say, who knows, who can connect with somebody named Joe, because he's pushing me to tell you to come forward. So I think that's how I want to do it. I'm throwing shit at the wall right now. I use psychic mediums in a lot of different ways, and this is, a new one for me. So we're going to, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? And John is going to be funny, because he is funny, even in person.
And I'll be honest with you, it's very difficult. Right now, I have a psychic next to me jotting down notes and numbers, and I'm supposed to just be like, "This is worse than a therapist taking notes." And be like, "What are you putting down?" They're like, "Just keep going." I don't know what he's doing.
Only positive stuff. I swear, he's not going to call you out, even though it's called calling out with Susan Pinsky. Unless you're lying about being married, then he might call that out. But
I'm not. It would just be funny to say, "Well, I'm not seeing anyone, but I am married." That was just
that was funny.
He does have a note here that says, "This is when you die," so I don't know what that's about, but it's fine. We'll get through it.
Thursday.
But you're not telling me what year, just Thursday? So every Thursday, I'm just going to be freaking out when I wake up. All right.
If
Good.
you wake up.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I like this guy.
Okay, now I'm really hopeful that all the women that are in the Zoom meeting like funny people. So that's the first thing. And I find funny people to be very attractive. What did you used to call it? When you could have sex with anybody other than your husband. What do you call it?
Pass, like a pass?
Yeah, a pass.
Hall pass.
Hall pass. Mine was Robin Williams when he was alive. So
thank God it wasn't when he was
Mario
dead.
Batali, because he can cook.
He can probably make it happen.
He did some sexual harassment thing, and then that was the end of that. But anyways, okay, we're going to start with Megan. Megan is a Capricorn. She was born in January. Welcome, Megan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
We don't see.
You got to give Kaleb a second.
He's
got to switch it over. Sometimes,
I thought maybe she was coming through the psychic on screen too.
She's a ventriloquist. Okay, Megan, raise your hand so we can see which one you are. Mm-hmm. This is Megan. Megan, introduce yourself. Megan, meet John. John, meet Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Hey, Megan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm
I
new
guess I'll
to
go
this.
first. What?
I'm new to this, like speed dating situation, and I heard you before, and I know you're nervous. It's okay.
No, I'm not nervous. I'm nervous about the psychic next to me more than anything, but I'm not nervous to do this. I perform for a living, so so what do you do?
I'm a personal assistant.
Oh, nice. Okay. Vague. In what field?
For a family.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about being a comedian that I've found challenging with dating. It's that I have a weird lifestyle, and it's I think it's hard for women to trust that lifestyle because I'm like out at night a lot. Do you go out? What's your day to day?
Yeah, I am not someone that really goes out late. I'm one of those people that likes to stay in, watch a movie, things like that. But I don't have a problem with it if I have a reason to. Like, I'm not just going to go out and party. I'm not a partier, but I have no problem going out and meeting friends for like a show. Like, for instance, I do love music. So if there's a concert, I will definitely be at a concert, jamming out to music. Are you a music fan? What kind of music do you like?
So I'm one of those people who likes, I love art. I'm one of those people who I just appreciate. I don't have like a favorite genre of music. If it's good, I like it. I'm all over the map. Like, I like country. I love oldies. I like hip hop. I honestly like older stuff more than the newer stuff, but I don't think that's like an age thing. I think it's just everything's kind of getting worse.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously very optimistic.
No, it's funny because I feel like I'm a very optimistic person, but I agree with that statement. And I also love pretty much every genre. Like, I'll listen to anything.
It's ideologies are important too. Do we talk about, I think you got to address some elephants in the room.
Okay. I think we should start with the basics first and then go back, and then you can pick the person that you want to go into. Ideologies, go a little deeper. I kind of want to do a quick hello to everybody. Then that way, because this could be the first hour of the show if you stick with one person. So
Got it.
I'm going to let you go to the next one. And thank you so much, Megan. Good start. I'm glad you guys pulled that off because I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen.
I think that was a great first one. Megan, I think we did a great job.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job, John. I am so happy right now. You have no idea. No idea because that went very well. And she's lovely. I put optimism next to her name so that I can remember. Okay, now then number 2 will be Jen. Welcome, Jen.
Hi.
John,
How's
Jen,
it going?
Jen, John.
Nice to meet you.
It's going. You too. It's going. And so I guess maybe they should ask me questions because I'll just keep asking. I'll just keep telling the same things about myself over and over again.
Yeah, let's have Jen, first of all, introduce herself, what she does, and anything interesting about herself that you need to know. And
okay, well, I'm Jen. I'm a TV producer, and I'm actually from LA, and I live here as well. Never dated a comedian before, but obviously I've worked with a bunch. Some very funny ones.
Probably smart to have not dated a comedian. Not exactly.
Well, most
don't exactly have like
worked with a female also. And, we had a very big age gap at the time. So, not conducive.
And you work in TV, which is awesome. You're in the industry. That's obviously, cool. What do you think? What do you think of comedians overall? We don't exactly have the best rep with dating, which I understand actually.
I think it depends on the comedian.
Totally.
What do I think about comedians overall? You know what? There's a lot of creative genius there. Mm-hmm. So I think people, people look to, I guess, scientists and doctors as being geniuses, but I do think there's a lot of creative genius among comedians for sure.
I do sometimes refer to myself as a doctor, so I appreciate that.
I'm sure you have a lot of specialties.
Thank you. Yeah. It's great that you're in the industry. Right? It's so I'm gay.
Me too.
I'm a gay married man. So this is.
I could be your beard. I have personal experience.
This is great. That's what I was looking for. I didn't want to say it, but you did. So that's perfect.
Perfect.
And you're in the industry. You get it. She gets it. Being in the industry, it's like it's so important. But. What are you writing down? All right, anyway. So.
All good things.
Yeah, Eddie's over here scrolling it. Okay, that's a good start. I like that. She's funny. I wrote down funny next to Jen's name, so I'll remember which one's which. You guys have to remember I'm 65 years old. I have horrible short-term memory. So, okay.
Well, move over, Dr. Drew. Looks like it's Dr. John, huh? Okay. Well, we can't edit that out. Okay.
Okay, your third contestant is Ariel. Welcome, Ariel, to Calling Out. And John, Ariel, John.
Hi. Can you hear me clear?
I can hear you. I'll wait until I think she has to get bigger on the screen.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to time it better now.
No, it works.
Kaleb has a lot of buttons to push.
And actually, it's pronounced Ariel. So a lot of people think Ariel is Little Mermaid, but no, but it's Ariel. Just think like the three letters REL. Just makes it easier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I like Ariel. Yeah, Ariel.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's not faux French. Some people it's like ARIEL and some people have like LLE. It's not that at all. It's just ARIEL. Just very simple.
All right. I'm definitely gonna. I'll probably call you Ariel and every now and then go mess up and say Ariel, and then I fully think that you're gonna correct me. I don't think you let it go. Have you ever let it go, or is it? You have to correct the person every time, right?
No, I usually correct. I usually do jump in. I'm actually. So, yeah.
I can see you doing that in school, just raising your hand and be like, nope, teacher, you're wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ariel.
I mean, I didn't want to correct the teacher, but I would say, my report card always was talks too much. So, yeah.
Honestly, Honestly, that's great. I love that. A little terrifying, which is healthy.
Okay.
So you need a little terror in your life. What do you do for work?
Okay, well, this is interesting. I used to be corporate. I'm from the East Coast. So I used to be corporate and did a little marketing in the business. And then I switched. And I think the most interesting thing we can chat about is that I'm actually a very successful hand and foot model. So you see these puppies? Yes.
That is
real.
Awesome.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wow.
That's
you have seen them.
Fans.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. No, I don't do OnlyFans.
How did you?
Good. I just had to throw it out there.
That's important.
Do you do only hands?
Yes. No, there's something called, there's Feet Finder, which is basically like the OnlyFans for feet. And people are like, you should do Feet Finder. And I was like, I'm
living.
Yeah, you don't need to do the OnlyFans because you already make the money doing it.
She's a legit hand foot model. Good.
How do you go into that?
Yes.
How do you?
Funny, yeah. So when I lived in New York, I'd walk all the time, obviously. And then people would stop me on the street and be like, you have amazing feet. You have great feet. And I was like, that's weird, but okay. And then when I moved out to LA, before I kind of got settled here, I was like, well, before I find kind of my team, my whatever, how am I going to make money? And I went into this parts agency and they were like, you have amazing feet. And then a week later, I booked a spring OPI campaign and rest is history. OPI is big nail polish.
That's a good one.
So,
that's a good one. OPI. I use that.
Yes, you all know. Yes.
Oh,
it's very good.
I think you guys sound
See,
like.
look, my nails. See my nails?
We're a match.
Wait, I'll put them over.
Do you have
in front of
OPI on?
Oh wow! Oh,
I could be a hand
wow!
model,
Look at your
too.
nails; they're so cool.
And my jewelry's by Silva Etsy. Yeah, check that out. That's nicer than my nails. But anyways.
I bite my nails, so.
Okay, good. This is a good start. You have so far so good. What do you think? You happy?
I think hand and foot model is really interesting, and I think it takes a special kind of person to stumble upon that.
Yeah.
So,
I've never. Yeah, I mean, I
And
knew
honestly,
they were out there.
someone named Ariel would do that. I think it's
But
perfect.
also, her face is beautiful too. Not to say that her hands and her feet aren't great. Her face is actually beautiful too. So you probably did some modeling as well with your body or face as well, correct?
She's too humble for that. She just went straight for hands and feet.
Look at her
yeah.
teeth. Great teeth. Okay. Anyways.
Oh, thanks.
And
Quiet on mute.
and he has great skin, so you guys would have really good genetics. Great teeth, great skin. Look at that. Okay. I'm always thinking genetics. I'm a doctor's wife.
No, that's important. Actually,
Yes.
genetics is huge.
Yes, very
Obviously.
important. Yeah, and nice feet. You know, ugly feet sometimes
Teeth,
turn
hair,
men
and
off.
skin, very important.
No, I've actually heard men over the years. I'm not saying anybody in particular because I can't remember who it was, but they said, "Oh, she was really hot, except for her feet were so ugly, I couldn't keep dating her." And I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? Some men are very shallow that way. Okay. Anyways, next, let's go to the next one. My jokes are not funny. Okay. Number 4 is Sophie. Welcome, Sophie. John, Sophie, John.
Hi.
Hey, Sophie.
Let me see if we can switch out. Wave your hand so we can see you. Oh, there she is. She's in the upper left-hand corner. Beautiful long brown hair. She is I'm going to let her introduce herself, tell her what she does, and you can go from there.
Okay.
Hi. Sophie is just like my nickname, but my name is Adrina. I'm Armenian. You don't have to say Adrina because it is a difficult name. You could just say Adrian.
Wait, can you say that? Can you say that again?
Adrian.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Will you
it's a
spell
hard
it?
name.
Adrian.
Adrian.
It's ADR. Yeah, ADRINE, and then there's like an accent on the E. So it's like Adrina.
Adrian.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Adrienne. Adrian. Oh,
Adrienne.
I'm not going to.
But don't worry about it. Just call me Adrian. It's fine. It's an Armenian name. I'm Armenian. Yeah.
Got it.
I'm sure you guys all know. Yeah. So I work as a court-ordered supervised monitor, and I got into that because they needed translators. I have to monitor crazy parents that don't have custody of their children. So I meet all sorts. Yeah, I know it's crazy.
That gets
I've
really
come
messy.
across-
I'm sure you see. Yeah.
Yeah. I see a lot, but I'm strong. I have a strong personality, but I'm also very sensitive. But I don't bring the work home. Like if I encounter a really crazy parent, I don't bring it home. Let's see what. I've just encountered so many different types of personalities.
That's a really important job, and that's got to be tough because I'm sure you sometimes see things and you're like, what are you? Do you have long hours?
Okay, so yeah, because not only am I working like with the parent, I also have to write reports, and the reports is the part that takes a really long time because I'm like OCD. So I like it to be perfect. It takes such a long time. But if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna give it my all. I'm not gonna just half-ass it. People will be like, "Oh,
Yeah, I'm
just
sure.
write a little." Yeah. Because I have to also. So it's a lot of like, it's a rewarding job because I helped a lot of people. So it's good. It's good. I sometimes hate my job, to be honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, because it's a heavy job. It's a heavy job. You're dealing with a lot. I mean, I I get it. It's funny. There's no correlation really between this, but like doing stand-up, sometimes people come to me when they're going through stuff because they just feel, there's something about being a comic where they sometimes will, oh, thank you so much. This is what I'm going through. And then they want to talk to you about it. And it gets kind of heavy. So I can't imagine. It's a very heavy thing I do. And then plus the translating too. It's like, you're dealing with people that can't really speak English.
Oh boy.
And it's a whole nother can of worms.
Great. You know what I like about you, John, is you show you're empathetic. You're not an asshole. So we've
Thanks.
just
You said that a couple of
that.
times. You've had some bad experiences with comedians, huh? It's like the third time you're like, you're not an asshole. I'm like, all right.
No, but you can see that he has an empathetic side, and he hears you, and he's very supportive of what you do, and that's a big job.
That's an important job. It's good, yeah.
Yeah, our children are our future, first of all.
There's no future, but if there was, it would be the children, yeah.
Well, she may be...
He's laughing because he knows. He knows.
And maybe this would be an opportunity for Adrienne to have some happiness in her life. Have somebody with a sense of humor, so she can kind of let the weight of the world off her shoulders and have a relationship that makes her happy, and someone that shows empathy. That's a beautiful thing, John. You don't understand. I have a husband like that. It's a good thing. So,
Dr. John?
Yeah.
It's Big John.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Adrienne.
Nice to meet you.
Adriana. I'm trying. I'm trying so hard.
Adrienne, is it?
Adrienne. Yeah. She keeps cutting out when she says it, so it's hard to hear. Okay, so that was number 4. We're on number 5, and I want to welcome the beautiful Erica. Hi, Erica. Welcome. Erica, John, Erica. And what do you do, Erica?
Erica, you need to unmute.
Sorry, I was muted.
Somebody's
Hi,
talking.
I'm Erica. Hey, John.
That's so great to start it off muting. That's so funny to do. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually a professional ventriloquist. No, just kidding.
Wow.
I was like, wow, you just won up the hand model. All right.
Right, here's my dummy. I'm an actor and also an astrologer. Fun fact.
Wow.
Oh. Okay. All right. What do you do? What would you say? So you're an actor and an astrologer.
Yes.
Which one more? Are they split?
They are. I'm more of an astrologer, and because definitely, there's no audition for doing people's astrology charts, so it's a little bit.
It's also a skill.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, astrology is a lot of work. You have to know all the numbers, all the moons and all the suns and everything. I know nothing about it. I just hear a lot about it. Like, all I know about her is she's a Virgo. That's it.
Oh, same.
Yes.
And I'm married to a Virgo. That's
Well,
about all I know
am I allowed
about
to say that?
astrology. So,
Am I allowed to say that I'm a Virgo?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm a Virgo as well. Virgos,
You are?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, Virgos
Fellow
are great.
Virgo.
We're and you would be an astrologer. We're very in touch with. I mean, it's an Earth sign, and I think I actually believe in astrology because I'm a Virgo, and because I'm such a Virgo. And I'm like, oh, the little I know about astrology. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're very what?
Oh, no, I was going to ask you what your rising and moon is if you knew it.
No, I don't know any of that, man.
no. It's hard. Astrology's hard to know all that stuff.
I just know I'm an Earth sign, and I feel like I identify with everything it says about.
I literally have been alive so many years, and astrology was a thing in the 70s, and I just couldn't get into it. I'm into psychic mediums. I'm into numerology, but I understand that astrology is all a part of that, and it's all important. And I have had astrological charts done, but the people that are astrologists are really bright.
Yeah, totally. I'm actually pretty terrified of psychics and mediums, honestly.
And you've had some really shitty ones.
I have, but I do believe in it. I believe in it, and at the very least, a higher intuition.
It's a good thing because
So-
you're psychic.
I am.
You are psychic.
Yeah. What? No, I'm just kidding. I just pass out.
This is about Erica.
Yeah. So Erica.
Yeah, I mean, I can chime in, but you guys are. I love your conversation, so it's fine.
Oh, I like that reaction too. So you're how long have you been acting for?
I've been acting for about, let's see, oh my God, off and on for about maybe 6 years or so. I have a like super random background. Like I've studied astrology for probably about like 10 years. So I very much nerd out and went very much down the rabbit hole of astrology. But prior to that, I actually worked for the U.S. government as a cultural policy analyst and I have a master's in management. Yeah. So I was like living a very different life before I moved to LA.
Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Pennsylvania and went to school in upstate New York and then lived in DC for like 7 years before I moved out to LA.
What part of Pennsylvania?
Erie, Pennsylvania. Some people know
okay.
it.
Wow. I actually lived in Pennsylvania from the age of 6 to 14.
Wow.
Yeah. In Westchester, Pennsylvania, actually. I actually, then I moved to New York and I actually liked Pennsylvania. I liked it, but I mean, and where'd you go to school upstate?
Buffalo.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, great. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, all right. Yeah. So
really liked being cold.
So when you're in Erie, you were really out there in Erie. I mean,
yeah, Erie is like closer to Canada than
totally
than like the rest of Pennsylvania. Definitely.
Oh, that's cool.
Cold. Yeah.
Erie, Pennsylvania, and then you became an astrologer. That's great.
Yes. Yeah.
And an actress, yeah. And it's you timed acting perfectly. You started, and I'm very supportive of everybody in the arts. You started 6 years ago, so right around the time the industry decided to destroy itself. So that's good.
Yeah. I really like a challenge.
What a great time to be in this, huh? Yeah. Maybe me, you, and the TV producer can.
We shall.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
All right, Eddie, let's go.
My gosh. I was going to say,
not about me. I'm sorry.
It's not the first time I've been propositioned for a first date like that.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, with that, I'm going to segue into the sixth person, and her name is Abigail. Abigail, thank you so much, Erica. You're welcome. More brilliant than I thought.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Yes, thank you, Erica.
I don't mean to be rude. I was talking to somebody on Rumble, but hi, Molten Salt on Rumble. I just want to say hi. He's the only one talking over there, and he's saying a lot, so I wanted to interact with him a little bit.
What's his name?
Molten Salt is the name of his
Molten Salt?
Yeah, and he's the only one chatting on Rumble. I don't know where the rest of the people.
Molten, keep it going. You sound crazy. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's a good guy. He follows us.
No, that's great. Molten, keep it up.
He's my fan. I have a fan.
Is he a single fan looking for John's leftovers? It's a thing.
Yeah, crazy. Ladies, if it doesn't work out, Molten Salt here is, what's his name, Molten Rock? That sounds like a porno name, huh?
I know, right?
Starring Molten Rock.
You should see some of the stuff they say over there. Anyways, I didn't want to interrupt. Number 6. Okay, we got to get moving because I want to get some psychic inspiration too. Number 6, come on in. Abigail, thank you for waiting. I'm sorry you're last, but not least. That's for sure. So let's
Erica.
Hi, John. I'm Abigail.
Hey.
I live in Santa Monica, so West Sider over here.
Nice.
And I also love country music. So I want to know if you've ever been to Desert 5, because I heard that's a new place in Hollywood to go for country music.
I have, what's it called?
Desert 5.
No, I have not been there. I haven't been to a ton of live performances. I would love to go to more. The last one I went to actually was a long time ago. Because I'm kind of a fair weather country music fan. I just kind of I don't go too deep into it. I went to see Tim McGraw and Faith Hill is the last person I saw. As the last show, country show I saw live. So
awesome. Yeah, I just was curious. It's a rare find in Los Angeles, and this is a
I think it's fun and
music.
I think it's fun and it's got good vibes. And I think I don't like, just people are surprised when I say that because they look at me like, you don't like country. And I'm like, no, I do. It's kind of a mood thing, I think, too. But
very feel good
What,
in my world.
yeah. And so Santa Monica, that's cool. Where are you from?
Santa Monica, originally the East Coast, Vermont.
Oh.
In New York City.
Nice.
And I've been in LA though for like 12 years, so I feel like a local
Oh,
here.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You were in Vermont too. That's an interesting place. Well, that's cool. Yeah, so you're probably
Even closer
pretty.
to Canada than Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. People from Vermont are so nice and chill, usually.
Yes, we are.
So I think that's good. Yeah. And then you were in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like more, New York or LA?
LA. New York is a great
okay.
city and I love it and I loved my time there, but LA for me is just such a playground and so beautiful. I love the beach.
Totally.
I love being outside. It's just lovely. Yeah.
Okay,
and there's so many creative
I was like
people
Vermont.
doing cool stuff here. So, and Vermont's
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
too.
Vermont's beautiful. LA is great. Lifestyle in LA is great. I think, especially as you get, I appreciate it more now than I did younger LA. I think because you realize, like, I go back to New York, and I lived in New York. Actually, I just moved back to LA, and New York, I was like, everyone there was like, all my friends are like boring now, and I'm like, you guys are way too young to be boring. And I feel like in LA, it's a better lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, I know New York's really fun, but I don't know. I think there is a good lifestyle here if you don't have to own a house. Right? Because it's expensive. Okay, never mind. All right, so we're now at the end of our 6 speed dating experiences. I think you did pretty well.
Okay.
I'm very impressed with you.
I try to keep it going. I haven't done speed dating like this on Zoom ever.
I know. Neither have I. And I'm okay. I just got a phone call from Emily Hagan. She was like calling me in the middle of it and I couldn't pick up, but I would love to say hello to her. I want to go to Lauren, who is on her side. She's on the side of the daters, and she is sort of feeling out the vibes in the room and the spirit. And I'm just wondering if she has any spirit connections that she needs to talk about to sort of guide this to the next direction.
Hi there, everyone. If you can hear me. It's actually really lovely to take a moment to meet and hear everybody kind of introduce themselves. I think what an amazing pool of goddesses we have here today. So I'm really excited to kind of take a moment to intuit into everything that's going on. I don't know, John, that you can really get a bad match here. I think it's going to be really trying to figure out.
You know what? I'm used to that. I'm looking.
Is going to kind of fit the lifestyle that you're living at this moment. I may have cut out. What was that, John?
No, nothing. And honestly, everyone seemed really cool, which was great. There was no one that I was like, everyone was very nice.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. But I want to know where Lauren's intellect is going on this, or her spiritual side, what she's feeling. And I want you to do me a favor and put a check mark next to whoever really stood out to you.
Just one person?
Or 2. Give me 3.
Oh, 6? Okay.
Yeah, it's hard. Okay. And it doesn't mean you can't have a date with one that you didn't check, okay? It's not a, this is, you don't get only one chance or anything like that. So, because they're all available and you could go on a date with all of them if you wanted to. But I'm just curious, like, who stood out to you? And then while you're doing that, I'm going to have Lauren, because Eddie gave me numerological choices, and then Lauren can just sort of, I feel like somebody needs like a little bit of a psychic reading on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On some level, Lauren. So maybe that would be John, and if he has any spirit guides, or if it's one of the girls or whoever's coming through to you, because I'm sure you have a bunch of people in your ear right now.
I'm really into what the psychics have to say. I'm here for this, as I am. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd love to take a mediumship moment, as I call it, because I do have, and I may be working with one of these beautiful goddesses here. So, ladies, if you want to tune in for a second, I'm going to kind of connect with a loved one in spirit that I feel is a young gentleman who's passed rather unexpectedly here. And I was kind of getting this energy when I was, kind of spending some time watching the different goddesses chat a little bit. So I don't know if one of you ladies can acknowledge a young gentleman who's recently passed around you in the spirit world that would have had an unexpected passing. He may feel like a brother to you, or someone who comes really close, like a brother or a very close friend. And I kind of felt like he keeps like nudging to, feel like you're coming into a new step of your life, maybe coming out of some struggles and ready to take a new step in your life. And I don't know if anyone can start to work with me on that. Just if one of the girls has a little connection, any young gentleman that recently departed suddenly or unexpectedly, this would be accidental or sadly a more tragic passing, but he would have leaned on you very much in his life. Is there anyone here who might acknowledge that? And John, if I'm with you, let me know. But I do think I'm working with one of the girls. Anyone here, Bueller? Yes. Okay. So that is Sophie, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. And Sophie, so you understand, I just want to confirm, do you understand coming through a lot of changes in your life right now, feeling ready to step into a new aspect of your life at this time? Yes. Okay. And so you can validate a friend that may feel like a brother to you in the spirit. Yes.
Well, my brother.
It is a brother.
My brother died in 2018 by suicide.
Okay, yes. And as you know, I feel like if he was a brother, obviously a brother, because I kept saying brother, but also like a friend. So that would tell me that he was very close with you in his life. Is that true?
I had two friends who recently passed who were boys.
Okay. Well, the first thing I got was either a reckless passing or suicide would make sense because there was a feeling like either they may have been reckless around their passing or they may have made that choice. So this may be more the brother, if that feels right. Was the other friend perhaps also a suicide or a reckless passing?
One of my friends who died in 2021, I believe, was suicide. The other one in 2023 was an accidental
overdose. Yes. Okay. So the first thing I want to recognize as I bring the gentleman, I'll bring a little bit more, but again, the connection is about being a friend or very close, like a brother, like a lot of time spent together, hanging out with each other, really feeling like you were very much a support system to each other, almost every day on the phone or chatting all the time. Who would that stand out to be for you?
That's my brother.
It is your brother, yeah. So I want to trust that because as we're sitting here and you're kind of exploring dating and kind of being in this moment, I get him nudging on me for you to wanting to take more risk in your life right now, that you've been holding back and playing it safe in your life lately. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. And I feel like as we're talking, he's been on my ear going, be brave, be bold. It's time to kind of bring back the part of the daredevil in you. I think there's a daredevil in you that's ready to come out and play. And so dating might be a great way to get that energy started.
Dating is not really, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But I'm looking more to creating because I also love the arts. I want to create. Big time.
Really beautiful because I feel like that part. And again, we're not forcing you to date, but as you're here exploring it, I think the idea was like from your brother, there's a part of you that I think was very playful, very outgoing, and usually a bit of a rule breaker. And that's kind of been boxed in a little bit. So he's kind of like, go ahead, have fun, break the rules again. and really wanted to bring that inspiration to you.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm so glad he came through. She has a nice smile on her face now. So that's good. She looks happy. It's nice to reconnect with your loved ones when they're, they do come through at a perfect time sometimes. You know what I mean? You'll feel much better today when you remember him fondly that way. And he's here with you. So I'm so glad. I'm sorry for your loss. I really am. So that's, it's pretty hard to lose a brother, definitely, or close friends. Young people in general are always difficult. But okay, so Lauren, that was good. Thank you for doing that. What was your brother's name?
David.
David.
Yeah.
Okay, David. All right. So that was
Intense.
nice.
He loves
She okay. We've learned a lot about her. She's looking forward to being more creative and having, more outgoing as per her spirits. And I think she's going to take that leap. And my next question would be, I would throw to Eddie. When he was doing his numerological sort of rundown of this group, he was coming up with a lot of, what he thought would be a good match. So if he was going to, take you and put you into a numerological area together and say, okay, these numbers match, these numbers match, right? I mean,
Yes.
isn't that what you do?
That's what I do.
Okay, so I'm trying to explain it, but it's not really coming out very well. Why don't you explain?
No, you're explaining it great. I just have flop sweat right in here.
Flop sweat,
Can you
yeah.
see it?
I do that
I
too.
can't see it. You're good.
I have that problem. I make them sweat a lot because I just throw
Yeah.
shit at them really
Keeps me on
random.
my toes. Okay, so to preface this, you definitely have a type. And I know you believe in energy, that what you put out there, you get back. And I know you believe in karma. Most people do, especially good people. And so you have a certain frequency type and you keep pulling similar numbers to you over and over and
Now,
over.
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So because this is interesting because I agree with this. I don't have a look. I have a type.
Boom.
Right?
Yes.
Because people are like, oh, you like this look. I'm like, no, I don't have a look. I have a type.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're so
Totally.
similar. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not attracted to a certain thing. There's certain qualities
Yeah.
when they pop up and then they keep multiplying, like those energetic multiple orgasmic combustion point frequencies.
I'm not like blonde hair. I'm not brunette, blue eye. That doesn't matter. It's about, yeah.
You just said connection.
Yes.
It's all about connection.
Sure.
That's the mind, the heart, and the gut, and the genitals.
And the flop sweat. Yeah.
Yeah. The flop
Don't forget
sweat.
the genitals.
Well, no, I did. I threw them in there.
Very
They're usually
important.
fourth. Men lead with it first, though.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so I'm just going to start it this way so we can all be on the same page. So just a reminder, John is a life path 7,
Okay.
and he's born on a 3-day.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go into this extent with all of the ladies other than to show you how it matches with John, but he's born in a 22 year, and that's the builder. So if you look at a 22, like you're born on the 22nd, Susan,
Uh-huh.
right.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yes. So you have to
Paging
Well,
Dr. John. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'll never work in this town again. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can't give birth, just so you know. Okay.
and so you have to also then look at the 4.
It's so funny to look at someone and say, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Megan.
Neither can I.
So the best things for you is you're right now in a whole year cycle of living in the third eye. That's your visionary. And you're good at that anyway, meaning you pull from the imagination into the body, mind, and spirit. Then you put it on the page. And then you play with the energy. Then you put it out to the world. Then you start the whole cycle all over.
So nervous. Things are just falling. I'm kidding. Yeah.
And so you're born on the 21st, and that is the day of the reliable guru. Our soul literally picks when it's going to be born. Do you know what time you were born?
I think it was early morning, 5-something in the morning.
Okay, when you find out, let me know, and I'll
Oh,
tell you
your
what
poor
it means.
mother.
So it's
I'll
reliable
text my
guru.
mom right now. She loves telling me this.
So the best matches for you as a life path 7 born on a 3-day is 5s, 7s, and 4s. Go ahead.
We say 5, 7s, and 4s are what?
Are the best matches for you numerically speaking.
Okay.
And a lot of the numbers have a lot to do with energy. And then the medium matches are 1s and 9s. But I'll explain it as we go because it's going to be fun. Now, Megan is a life path 9. And I'm not going to say birth years or anything because I don't want somebody coming after me with a knife, okay? I'm not stupid.
Well, birth years, publicly, not for me.
publicly.
Because I should know the birth. It's important for me,
Yeah.
not just to know someone. It's the same, it's,
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, Megan, you're a life path
just dating someone, they're
9.
like, when was she born? I have no idea. But okay.
2001.
Yeah.
And so you're life path 9 and you're born on a number 2 day. So currently you are in the solar plexus for 1 whole year up until your birthday next year. And you're born on the day of the empathic healer. And you are genuinely what you're born under. You have that really lovely sensitivity about you. And to put it into reference, Dr. Drew is a life path 9. Susan's a life path 4. So 9s are spiritual teachers. They come for endings, new beginnings. So the whole thing that Dr. Drew does for a living is help people with where they're at to take them into a new beginning. So there's a lot of spiritual teacher energy with you. Now, also, I just wrote down that there's some powerful sensuality here, but we won't go into specificity. You're welcome. And then there's this beautiful feminine, caring energy, and you're very much the giver as well.
Whoa. Hold on. What do you mean by that sensuality?
She's very sensual. She has a spiritual sensuality. So there's a sexual sensuality and there's a spiritual sensuality.
Right.
She got both. Okay.
Oh, nice. Oh,
She
that's
do.
my alarm. Sorry.
And so being born on the 2nd, that's the traditional number for the feminine, the sensual, the creative, the empath, the lover, the connector, the woman. Mm-hmm. And she's born in a 6th year, which makes her very, very community driven as well. The emotions can, when you don't feel grounded, you'll get overwhelmed pretty easy and you want to cut a bitch. But that's okay. We've all been there. But
we all have it.
Yeah, the only thing you would probably want to play around with and work on is when you have doubts about something. But you're pretty straightforward. You will pretty much roll your sleeves up and push through. She's very caring. She's a great performer. I'll leave that up to y'all for later. And she's very helpful. She's a kind, sincere person. Yeah.
Well, trust is very important. Is this a trustworthy sign? Is that what you're saying?
9s are very trustworthy.
I have one of those.
And
you're a 9?
Being born on
no,
the
my husband.
2nd, yeah, being born on the 2nd, that's trustworthy too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a great question. Beautiful. Yeah. And then Jen, you're a life path 7. Now, not to weed anybody out, but John's best matches are life path 5s, 7s, and 4s. But we got a surprise in the mix. Okay, this is going to be fun. So you're a life path 7 and you're born on the 22nd. Now, 22s are master numbers. That means you don't play, sister. And so you're direct, you're focused. If people around you are not, you're not having it. Now, you're not mean and nasty, but you can be if you have to be, but you will direct it to the person who deserves it, not your beautiful fiance, John. And so that's a life path 7. 7s, he's a 7 too. Genius mentality, whatever you put your mind to, you're going to create it. Now, this is fascinating. This is what I mean by you have a frequency connection match here. You're born in a number 9 year, just like the person before you was a life path 9. And that 4 means you're you like fairness, justice, equality, but you build upon whatever you touch. And most people can't keep up with you. Now, Mr. John here, he is a 22 year. You're born on a 22 day. He's a life path 7. You're a life path 7. You've got the 9 energy and your focus this year is 7. So in the numbers so far, you're vibrating up there. You're going to be pushing people to the left and the right of you and say, John, come to mama. Okay. Mm-hmm. By the way, you got a great sense of humor too. I mean, I'm not seeing it right now, but I know it's in there.
You're also describing a TV producer. I feel like no nonsense gets it done, right? Yeah.
Not taking things personally.
Yeah, she'll fire a PA just to set an example.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm like that too.
You could do a lot of things to me and I wouldn't fire you.
I'm kidding.
Bring on the strawberry.
All right, talking dirty. Okay.
Something we should point out is life path 7s and people born on the 7 day, 6s too, but especially 7s. They have their pleasures, their perversions, and they're all about sensuality. Yeah, baby. Okay, and then we have Ariel. I hope I'm saying Ariel correctly.
Yeah, you better say it correctly, I have a feeling. Yes.
Yes.
The thing I love about Ariel, I feel like you're a gay man trapped in a woman's body.
Oh my God. Yes.
You really feel that way, so you have all this beautiful energy. Now, you're a life path 5, and 5 is one of the great matches for you, 5, 7s, and 4s. You're in the throat chakra this year. That's why you have all of this effervescent frequency shooting out of your throat chakra, and you will all the way up until May of next year. Now, you're born on the day of the warrior spirit, and you can tell it. And one of the things about 5s is they're very beautiful, as you can see, not just the face, the hands, and the feet. Now, I'm going to say with you, you will always have that sunny disposition. And I can't feel where you were ever, quote, directionless or non-committal or unreliable. I don't feel that. That's the shadow side of a 5. And I think that could have been in your teens and early 20s when you were discovering how much power you actually had. But you kind of a nice little delicious match, Miss Ariel, okay?
And you get it done. I mean, to be like, all right, I got to figure out money, foot model, and then just to go do it is crazy. I mean, you could, out of thin air. That's great.
How did you fall into that?
I'm like, maybe I should get a pedicure and go.
Yeah, well, 5.
How do you how do you break into the world of hand
kissing?
Oh.
I didn't hear it. Yeah. Okay. No, it just really, I went in for my feet because it was an actual legit agency for parts. And then she said I had great hands, and then it was both just took off. So
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I have like veiny hands. It wouldn't work out, but no.
There could be a market for veiny hands. They need them for everything. There's products that I'm sure could use some veiny hands.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I'd be the before.
This is exciting. This is so exciting. I love getting these numerology. Yes. Okay.
It's fun.
I know, right? Right. So, what about Abigail?
Abigail. Okay, hold on. I have Sophie. Let me jump to. I got my Abigail. Hi. Hi. Abigail is also a life path 7, and she is born on a number 1 day. So you have all of the, he really digs 7 energies, which is like attracts like energy because he is that. You are too. Excuse me. Then there's that number 1 energy. You're definitely a leader. You're strong. You'll take charge. But you're very smart in an intuitive sense. And then you also have a really nice intuition about you too. You know, they just told me this when I was saying this to you. You like to take a step back and observe. If somebody's going to hang themselves, you give them the room to hang them. You're not going to ask enough questions to them to let them clear themselves, but you're not manipulative in the way you do it either. Meaning you're not this passive aggressive person who's going to set people up to fail so you're proving yourself right. You don't have that, but you learned over the course of your life that if I'm quiet long enough and step back and watch them, I'll see how they treat other people and then how they treat me. And then I'll just gently, lovingly vibrate the hell out of there. You're in the throat chakra until your birthday in October. And you also, as a number 1, are a warrior spirit. There's some really good sensuality in here too. But, I'm not going to talk about private things.
Why not?
Wink, John.
It gets good. Let's get juicy.
Talk about the private stuff. What do you mean?
Well, no, it's
Who
delicious.
does he have the most, the most excitement with in numerology? Which one's going to have the sparks?
Well, and that's what we're coming up on. And so who's next?
Okay.
Erica?
Erica's next. Okay.
Well, maybe not. We took them out of order, but it's okay.
Excuse me.
We did Ariel. That
You got the throat chakra too.
I did. It's like, what's going on?
I know.
I'm like Brenda Vaccaro.
Do you need some water?
Buy my tampons.
Well, let's throw Lauren in here for a second. Lauren?
Yes. Abigail? Okay.
Love Lauren.
How do you like this? How are you feeling about this? I know you're in the room. You're seeing everybody at the same time. What's coming to you?
I mean, Eddie's wonderfully going through this numerology, and it's funny because you can see like the different auric energies around some of the ladies here that are going on. Mm-hmm. So, not only is the numerology making sense, like when he was talking about Megan and having that kind of sensual, spiritual essence about her, I was picking up on that earlier, this ability to be very kind, but very open and aware, which I thought was really beautiful. Jen, I got to tell you, Jen, your energy to me is is sassy and fun. And I feel like people who keep up with you are going to just really always feel like they are in the middle of a show. So the producer vibe totally makes sense for you. But at the same time, you've got this fun, sassy, spontaneous energy. I think you'd be a really incredible ongoing, to date and to always have like great laughs and great movement in your life. So I really kind of thought that some of the stuff that Eddie, you got about the numerology there was also kind of similar things that I was sensing as well. And I think we were also, was it Ariel, right? And I hope I got that right. It's like the angel Ariel. It's when you talked about kind of being a gay man, in a woman's body, by the way, totally relate. I hear that. But there's something really incredible about the energy in your aura here that I just felt when people are in your atmosphere, they must feel very comfortable and at ease in your energy. So I thought that was really cool. But also that kind of flamboyancy would also make people feel like, they can be themselves. So that was something I really found very cool and how I was sensing your kind of vibes as well. And there was one here, I forget which one we were just talking about. Was it Gen 2 where, Eddie reminds me, Abigail, right?
Abigail.
Where you said, Abigail, okay, sorry, yes, where you were talking about, being able to let people just kind of do themselves, right? Like undo themselves. And I thought that's really a fun trait, to really be the kind of person to observe somebody's own crazy and kind of let them be their crazy selves. And so, when he said that, that part of you that could, maybe let people hang themselves, what I also intuited from you, Abigail, was like this ability to actually just let the crazy be crazy and really hold space for that in the most wonderful way.
Okay, I have a question. He just went to the bathroom. Wait, can I interject here? You just went to the bathroom.
Please,
I want you guys to raise your hands if you want to go on a date with John. Really quick. Oh, put the screen back up. Okay, put your hand up. I won't tell him. Just put your hand up if you want to go on a date with John. Anybody?
Oh my God.
Raise your hand.
I am so shocked. Okay. I was going to say 3 for.
Okay, all right. I just want to know. I got to get. Okay. All right, so I got to get these in order. Okay. All right, so yes. Okay, raise one more time.
Raise your hands one more time if you want to go.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, because we're gonna narrow it down here because I want to you know what I mean? He doesn't know.
He will.
Wait, bottom left corner. I forgot. What's her name?
Erica, bottom left.
All right, cool. All right.
Oh, thank God.
He had to go to the bathroom.
I had to pee so bad. Sorry.
We had to have a break. We had to have a pee break.
I've been long drive to get here. I was holding it in.
I know why.
I got here and I was like, oh, they're ready to go. And I was like, so anyway. Anyway, I'm not trying to turn anyone on right now, but.
Yeah, if you had heard him in there, it wouldn't turn you on.
All right. So here we go. I'm just curious if I don't know if Colby popped into the scene or not, but let me see if she may not be coming.
She's here.
Is Colby?
Oh, I heard her. Oh,
yeah. Colby's in the house.
Colby.
Hold on.
All right. So we have another psychic medium here to spruce things up.
Yes, I can.
Just give me a second. Give me a second, Susan. I didn't realize there was going to be an.
So I'm just gonna do a recap. Hi, Colby. Colby Rebel is here. She is a master at love and connections, and she can predict if you're going to have a baby. So, John, we're going to find out if you're going to have
all right.
Say hi. This is Colby Rebel.
Colby. Hi,
welcome.
Everyone. Hello.
How are you?
So we just did everybody met each other. We looked at everybody's numbers. We looked at everybody's astrological signs. We talked about, their personalities. Great people in the room, really awesome. And I don't know how we can incorporate your psychic medium skills to embrace the full feeling of what it would be like to have a psychic medium help you find love. I did send you a picture of all the girls and John. John has been so patient and he did a great job interviewing everybody. He had a really good one-on-one with everybody before you got here. So you know nothing. But I don't know if you can give us any input or if you want to ask some questions of John, or if you want to give John a psychic reading and see where it goes. See if we can sort of narrow it down to whoever it is that he wants to go on a date with.
Okay, great. Hi, John. How are you? Can you hear me or no? Uh-oh, hang on.
That can't be good.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh, your volume.
Hang on.
Oh, can you unmute yourself, sweetheart?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear her.
See,
There we
they
go.
can hear me.
I can hear you
guys
now.
hear me?
Okay, hi. I can hear
Okay.
you now. Yeah, your lips were moving, but there was no sound. So, and by the way,
That's what
happy
she said. No, no, no.
Today. Today is Colby's
Happy
wedding anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
I bought her
My-
cupcakes, and I have
My
cupcakes
1
we're gonna
year.
all eat in your. Yes, it's exciting. And John
Thank
wants
you.
one so bad. Which one do you want, John?
Both? No, I'm kidding.
You can have one of each.
No,
color.
they look great.
They're cute. They have little butterflies on top. Can you see them?
Hold on right now.
You're a butterfly person. So anyways, I'm going to let you we're throwing her on here cold, and only because I love her so much for this concept. So we had a time mix up and we're throwing her in here cold, but I would love her input onto, maybe she can just have a little one-on-one
Well, let me just see.
reading
So
with John.
I feel like not knowing. Let me just kind of connect here psychically first, without knowing anything about John or the beautiful ladies, and then I can go into John a little bit. But just I don't. If I'm just going off of clairsentience, a feeling, it's interesting. I don't know, but I feel like a dream. I don't know if I pronounced your name right. A dream. It's not feeling like this is kind of your match to me. I feel like, it just feels like you're needing someone a little bit more serious or a little bit more elevated. Don't take that the wrong way, John. I'll get back to you. But I
What did you
feel
say?
like-
Never mind. He doesn't.
but I feel like, to me, it doesn't feel like a
What did you
great
think?
match. Jen, is it Genevieve? Genevieve?
Yes, hi.
Genevieve? Hi,
Hello.
Genevieve. I mean, it's funny because I think you've got a great sense of humor, but maybe not, again, on the same page with our John here. Erica, when I tune into you, such a warm energy about you. I mean, there's just a sweetness and a real warmth. And I don't know, I feel like you would say, you know what, this guy seems crazy. I'd try it. I'd see where it would go. So I do feel like there's a little... I do feel like there's a little bit of like, yeah, let's see that. Abigail, for you, this could be possible. It could be. I'm just wondering, it could be. And now, Erica, don't take this the wrong way, but you may be a little bit of a too good girl, Abigail, for John. So that's now, Megan, also, I feel like there could be something there too. Again, more of that, like, I'm up for anything. I'm up for fun with it, right? So there could be something. Now,
Ariel, was that? Oh, okay. Abigail, you said that about.
Did I say it right? Ariel?
Abigail's the one you just finished. Okay, good. I'm trying to keep track here.
Abigail and then Megan. I did Abigail, then Megan. Ariel,
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, my feeling is you might end up ripping his head off like a praying mantis. I feel like you're such a boss babe. You are such a boss babe, and you have zero tolerance for people being late, for not showing up, for, and I feel like John would just continuously disappoint those expectations. Now,
I can address all this in a little bit.
now I want to go to John if I could. I don't know if it's possible to see him.
Okay.
So
Show
with
John.
John, it's there's just a thing with John that I feel like there's a part of you still being a kid. There's a start of you like loving life and having fun and wanting to kind of fly by the seat of your pants a little bit. So it's just saying like, hey, I'm not done with where I am. And so with that, I think the idea is I feel like your partner also needs to be a little bit spontaneous and willing to say, well, let's do this and let's have fun. And again, flying by the seat of our pants. And for you, humor feels to be an extremely important part of the relationship. Now, I do feel like you genuinely are at a place where you would consider a long-term serious relationship. Like, I feel like you're like, hey, you know what? I'm open to it. But if it's someone that's going to kind of want a box a little bit, it's not going to work. Again, I think you need to play. And not play as with other women. I just feel like it's play in having fun and being a kid a little bit and being goofy. And so you're going to need that woman that is like, well, that's fun and that sounds cool. And I'm up for kind of joining you on that journey, on that path.
Can I weigh in?
Mm-hmm.
I think that you have elements of it correct. I think that you're picking up on certain elements of it, but I think it's more just my career is so all over the place. I'm actually very career oriented and a bit of a homebody, but a homebody because my career is being out, so I don't actually like.
Do you travel a lot for a career? Can I ask, John? I feel like you travel a lot. That's why I'm asking.
So it ebbs and flows with that. Like, if I'm touring, and it's such a layered question because it's just the state of everything. Yeah. But ideally, there is travel involved, and it's tough travel for a significant other. Yes. That's one thing is it requires someone who gets what I do, who's patient with what I do, who's supportive. And you really got to understand me because there's a lot of, it sucks, but it requires a lot of trust from a partner because I'm out making people laugh in Cleveland.
And you have women around you that might want to take a picture and put their hand on your ass when you're doing it. And it's like, it has to be somebody who doesn't mind that you're a celebrity. And
I'm thank you for saying that. I'm not, but it's and I'm not really interested.
And you're in the public eye.
In the public eye, I'm a public figure. I'm not really interested. I actually don't like dating. I'm not really interested in that. I think it's a very odd climate. I think you have to be very careful. Yeah. So I'm not even promiscuous or any of that. That's not to me attractive or I don't associate that with fun. I associate that with a potential problem.
He's not a player.
I didn't say he was a player.
No, I don't think you said that. She said I was crazy, stupid.
And you're around people and it's not like he's
my career, here's what I'm gonna say. My career is more spontaneous than I am.
Oh, that's interesting.
But you are your career, I think. And that's
exactly.
kind of
what
and
it's who I am.
Which is normal for a man. That's good.
Well, I've run into problems dating where initially the attraction to me was like, oh, wow, this guy's funny. This is great. And then the same things that they like about me in the beginning is what they end up not liking about me. Because I'm like, well, did you think I didn't really do this? This is what I do. What you saw me doing is what I do for work. It wasn't just like dating a medium. Mm-hmm. Who said that?
That was Lauren said that.
I was like, am I just hearing? Oh no, they're getting into my head.
It is. It's like dating a medium. Colby knows.
Even Mick Jagger, if you saw him standing in line at Starbucks, you wouldn't want to throw your panties at him. But whenever he's on stage performing with the Rolling Stones, you want to throw your panties at him.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, not me, but.
Well.
So are you into collective panties, John? Is that a fact you should know?
That what about panties?
Wait, what happened?
Something about panties.
No, he goes, no, John goes, yeah, well, maybe not.
But it's not actually that. But you know, stand up isn't, the climate's not what it used to be. I'm like kind of a dork too behind the scenes. I actually like collect baseball cards and stuff.
Do you?
Yeah, I had a baseball. It's funny because you were
He's
saying
like a big kid.
Well, yeah. Well, so when I was a kid, when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, I wanted to be a comedian and I wanted to have a baseball card shop.
Oh, cute.
And I actually had a baseball card shop for a couple of years. You said it yourself. When I put my mind to something, it happens.
Yeah.
So what happened was I started recollecting again, 2016 as like a hobby. And I was like, man, these cards are cool. And it was, the hobby was very low. This is boring. I'm trying to get. Anyway, cut to 2020. I would give guys at card shops tickets to shows. They'd give me boxes. I'd open them up, have so much fun. Cut to 2020, the pandemic happens, and that hobby, the market goes through the roof. So I'm sitting on a huge profit from that.
Wow.
My friend, all my friends were making fun of me because they're like, you're collecting cards. But listen, my other friend, she's one of my dear friends. Her father had a baseball card shop. That was what he did for a living since the 80s. Humble little shop in New Jersey. He passes away end of 2020 randomly. She goes, I don't know what to do with this shop. Can you come help me look through these cards? Lo and behold, a year later, I have a baseball card shop. We reopened it up in my hometown.
That's so cute. Yeah.
And then the market was great. And then it was great money. And then I was like, I put on my, this is a true story. I put on my wall a vision board because stand-up wasn't really, stand-up had kind of gone away. And I was like, look, I've toured with some big names. I played some big rooms. I want to get back to that. So I put on my, am I good?
I
Am I
know,
popping?
the spirits are doing that.
Yeah, push it a little bit further away.
Okay.
There you go. Thanks,
Mike.
That good? So I put kind of vision.
It's spirit. It's fucking with our.
I put kind of a vision board on my wall of like, just cool moments I've had in entertainment. And then all of a sudden my buddy blows up, comedian, he gets huge.
Right.
And I was like, I need to start playing theaters again. So now I have a baseball card shop and he's like, you want to come with me and do all these theaters? So all of a sudden
Who
I
was
had Matt Rife.
Oh, nice. I don't know who that is.
I toured with him for like from 2022 to 2024. He got huge out of nowhere.
Did he?
Out of nowhere, huge.
Yeah, he's
out of nowhere.
Like in a movie now, and
it was like we were playing like giant venues, and and then the market went down, and I was like, look, I have to focus on stand up. So we ended up closing the store, but I stole the inventory.
Wow.
So we still sell the inventory, and then so I do it. Yeah.
And that's a 7 genius mentality thing. And that you're guided by intuition, instinct, the non-physical. And that's where the 22 comes into the year you're born.
Mm-hmm.
But you have that 3, the 21st that you're born on that comes to 3. There's the charisma, the creativity, the higher consciousness, the connectability to the things that you love the most will always make you electromagnetic. And then pull baseball card shop, and beautiful women.
Yeah.
But also I can let negativity in very easily and be affected by it. That's the problem. I have to really keep my water clean.
Yeah, that's the shadow side of a 7 and the shadow side of a 3.
So I'm easily thrown off my game. So if I have a toxic
helpful.
partner, that's why I'm at a point now where I'm like, if I have a partner, it has to be positive. Someone starts to get toxic, I can't do it because it'll mess with me.
Well, and can I add to that? I feel like, and I really feel like this. I feel like you're saying I have to have a partner that is positive, who is a perfect. I'm not hearing perfect person, but what I am hearing is you also will hold yourself to that standard.
Yeah.
Meaning when you're off stage and at home, you're not going to be a crabby bastard and expect them to be wonderful, right? Because you've been there, you've done that.
I think I need someone that's like tolerant maybe a little bit.
Yeah, well, most women need to be.
Which is a kind of a weird thing to say, but I do have to get a little, no, you're right. No, yeah, what you're saying is right.
Yeah, but you're growing out of that.
Yeah, totally.
Because you don't like the way it feels anymore.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
You have to give back. It's not a one-sided thing when you're in a relationship.
Oh, Lord, no.
You have to put it with each other's stuff. It just happens. But it's I don't know. I've been married for 34 years, so
7
years?
7, it adds to 7.
Oh, 7. Oh, yeah.
7 energy, man.
So was he?
Oh, he adds it together. I was like, well, what does that mean?
34 years ago? What was he doing?
He was a medical doctor. He was an internist. He was the chief resident at the hospital. He was working at a psych hospital, and he also was on Loveline.
Oh, wow. 34 years ago on Loveline. Okay, wow.
Yeah, we met 7 years before that, so we've been together over 40 years.
So wow, you guys really, that's crazy.
But he was a pain in the ass for those 7 years when we dated, but somehow I was able to get him to marry me. And then we had triplets, and then I was an instant mother. So there's a lot of stuff that you
guys have been through a lot.
I mean, he's a celebrity. We had multiples. But what I was going to say is men they're not changeable. They're just, you just have to not be so picky. You know what I mean? You have to give up the little
women
things.
Settle.
You know, I mean, he's a good guy, everybody. And I want you to know that he's
a genuinely good gentleman.
Oh, thank you.
Right. But, sometimes we go through our rock star phase too. And then we meet a nice guy and they're just not interesting because they're not a sociopath, And I talk to Emily about this all the time. She goes, I'm attracted to sociopaths. And it's just like a phase you go through until you get burned. So
I don't know if it's a phase for Emily. I think she likes sociopaths.
Yeah, me too. I love sociopaths.
She gets really, I think it's fun. I think she has fun with it.
They're so fun. I love sociopaths. I attract sociopaths too. But I married a not sociopath. So, but it was hard. It was hard to break free of that sociopathic allure.
Yeah, eights. Born on an 8. There's an 8. Emily's an 8. You're 22 and your 4 adds to 8. So you love the psychology of it and getting into the frequency and sort of moving around in it, but not being a part of it, but seeing if you can uplift and nurture.
I mean, I've got sucked in a few times and made some mistakes. I just learned from that. But I dated a lot of toads before I met Drew. So, and I did hang in there for 7 years dating him because I realized he was the one. And even though he was super busy, he was a workaholic, and I knew going into it that he was a workaholic. So I signed up for it. I said, okay, you're a workaholic. I try to keep up with him. My kids kept me busy, but it's, building a family was really important to me. So I put up with his schedule. I mean, we're still together, but it's not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. You have to work for it. And love is worth it, having companionship, love, a partner, a companionship, knowing, we're going to grow old together. We get to travel together. We just got off of a cruise. We had such a good time. We had 3 weeks together, and, I don't know what I would do without him. So it's not just because he's famous. I mean, that's kind of a pain in the ass half the time, but he loves being famous, right, Kaleb?
But
Does he actually?
Most of the time.
He loves being important, know, and I think you saying that work is important to you and what you build and what you did. You had a huge success with your cards, and you were intuitive as a child. You made it happen. You went into comedy, and you can do more stuff, And women it's important to have a woman in your life. I'm sorry, it just is, because we're far more sophisticated, and you need somebody there to keep you in.
Well, apparently, according to she was saying about me, so crazy fun John.
I'm not going to blab on about myself because it's the show, even though it's my show. But I want to use I'm using my instincts here, just based on what Colby said, what Lauren said, what Eddie said, and numbers, and sort of how the women are looking at, how they would get along with that, John. And I've narrowed it down to these 3. So I don't know about you, but that's sort of my 3 pick.
Okay.
And if you want to date one and then see how it goes, and then that doesn't work out, you can come back and date another one, and I'll buy you dinner.
Just me dinner, though?
Yeah, no, the 2 of you.
You can go as many as you want, and I'll buy you dinners.
I will buy you dinner. Since you drove out here, you held your pee for the first half, and you were sincerely funny. I think he's funny, you guys, really, seriously. So.
And I'm holding back.
His water never
broke.
But
if you want to pick somebody else, and I'm not suggesting, or they're not suggesting, then you can do whatever you want.
But Susan,
and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want this to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm going by numerology.
Also, do any of them like me? That's a part of it too. Because you know what I've noticed with dating now? This is one thing. It's about what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
But it's also about what they're looking. Like if I like
really nice.
If I like someone and I'm like, oh, I want to be this person, but I don't fit into their life, that's also not a good match. And a lot of people, both men and women, we don't think about that as much. You think, is this person good for me, not am I good for them? And that's a part of it too.
Right. And after hearing everything he said about himself, because I don't think he gave too much history. I have a thing about too much history. Like, you don't have to tell people everything about your life, but he didn't give too much history. He did a good job, right? I thought it was pretty fair. And he's very sincere and
I want to get more of a reading from you.
Transparent. Yeah. Now you're not afraid of him anymore?
No, I'm still terrified. That's why I
John wants to know if anybody's interested in him.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice thing to ask.
What?
Is this where they raise their hand?
I want them to all say no.
No. That's an upside down 7.
Oh, what's that mean?
Too much pressure here.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to be hopeful, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. But I want to get my hopes up, but I don't.
Oh, I prepare. I mean, I've been in entertainment for too long. I prepare for the worst. I never think,
Well, just remember in life, everything's 50-50. You know what I mean? 50% will like you and 50% won't. It doesn't mean they hate you or they don't like you. It just means they just not, they have an instinct that it wouldn't work out.
Every single one of them are powerful, smart, anchored, grounded, clear.
Some have great hands.
Some have great feet.
Some have great minds.
Some had great hair.
They all have great minds.
All have great minds.
And great smiles.
Okay, everyone has great mind.
I think Colby wanted to say something.
Oh.
Colby, what did you want to say?
Colby, sorry.
Yeah, I okay, first, I'm pretty sure John has been pretty resistant to what I said, twisting what I said to make him a womanizer, which is not what I said. Second, I do want to say that if you genuinely went into a place to ask a lady out, you wouldn't ask her first if she likes you. You got to be man enough to say, I like you and I'd like to go out with you. Not get a little heads up not get a little heads up as to who your safe choice is. Right? Some guy's not going to say, hey, can I have your number? Do you mind? He's not going to say, would you like me too? So then I can let you know if I could have your number. So I just want you to be more. And then the other thing is, you mentioned.
So don't take no for an answer. Got it.
You mentioned you don't want someone toxic, but what's your perception of toxic? I mean, you're a certain age. You've lived by yourself for a while. You're going to be very picky. You're going to be set in your ways. How open are you to a woman who has her own things? Are you going to call that toxic, or are you going to be able to work with her?
Well, toxic just means
what?
I think for me, it's someone that's not, I can't trust, and that's not supportive. I think, for me, if honesty and transparency is very important. And I think a lot of people, I don't, because of my career and because of how all over the place, I just need someone that's very honest. And even if it's just like little white lies here or there or something like that, like as soon as there is something that's not truthful, I can't help it, but I tune out.
Right.
I just can't, because really, I've been.
But the point, okay, so ladies, apparently I'm on your side, I think, because my feeling is, just listen, like you have to kind of go, okay, we're all old enough to go, we want someone who's going to work with us. We're not going to all be perfect. It's not going to be a perfect match. And of course, no one wants anyone to lie to them, right? And so, but what's, I think just kind of being a little bit more gentle with, hey, I've done this. Where does your lack of trust come from? Is there some things that you haven't worked on that you need to, because they may have some things as well. And so a really great couple, they work through these things. So it'd be nice just to hear that you're willing to roll up your sleeves and go to work if it's the right person for you.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot to unpack here. I mean, I do comedy. At the end of the day, it's cool that I wanted to do it, but obviously I definitely have commitment issues, trust issues. I'm sure it comes from I just ate a cupcake. It's really,
We're eating your
really,
cupcakes,
really
Colby.
good.
You ate my cupcake, okay?
But messier than I thought it was going to be. It's good though. I'm going to have 3 of these. Yeah, no. I mean, everything I'm saying is like within reason. You know, I'm not saying if you say something that's not completely truthful, I'm like, oh, you're a liar, you're this. But I've had look, it comes from my experiences, my life experience. I've had some crazy life experiences. And I've had some bad ones. And so I know what to look out for. I've had mostly good, but the ones that have been bad have been bad. And when you're in entertainment,
God, no shit.
you can attract the wrong type of person gets attracted to it. That's why I like meeting people through friends or through, it's like I'm not on any of the dating apps. I never was. I never wanted to, I just didn't think that was a good vetting system.
Yeah.
So it's tough to get to know someone.
Well,
yeah.
I think that it's fun what we're doing here. And I think we're getting too serious right now. But I appreciated Colby when he said, I want to know who's interested in me, because he doesn't want to pick one and then have them have to do it.
Yeah, totally.
They don't want. He wants to go out on a date, or not a date. He wants to have a match and see what happens. And even
I want to know who doesn't want it, because then that's who I want to go out with and prove her wrong. I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that. I like a challenge. I want my cake. I want to eat it too.
Because we've only been here for an hour. I mean, sometimes you have to know people better, and maybe you just want to get their information and see where it goes. And then, we could give you, whoever's interested, the opportunity to do it. And he did, after his first round, he picked a couple. Eddie picked a couple. And then I listened to what Colby said, and she said a few of the girls were like, no, he's not going to work out for you. So, and Lauren really hasn't. Lauren, maybe you should, she actually told me too, who she thought was good. So he needs a napkin. He's got a red velvet smooshed all over his face. But I don't know. Lauren, maybe you want to just.
I'm just trying to find someone to eat cupcakes
you told
with.
me at the beginning. But is there anybody here who would love to meet John?
I'm sorry. I heard a couple things going on. Are you asking me that question, or are you asking the girls?
I'm gonna let the girls say who would, and then you can maybe elaborate on who he should choose. So, who is anybody here interested in meeting John?
That's what I was hoping for.
If so,
it's all about the content.
If so, just raise your hand.
They're shy.
Oh no, nobody wants to go out with you.
I know it.
No,
that was the vibe I was getting. That's why I said it.
No, Ariel's saying something.
Which, guys,
yeah.
it's fine. I'm gay.
Erica.
I'm a gay man. It's fine.
Yeah, I kind of almost think Ariel or Erica. Yeah, but
Okay, so nobody wants to raise their hands. So am I doing this? Okay, that's just a no.
Are we supposed to raise our hands if we? Or?
Yeah, raise your hand if you would love to meet John.
As a friend.
I like how you raised the back of your hand. There you go.
how about John? John, would you invite them to your shows? Would you?
Oh
invite
yeah,
anyone
absolutely.
to your show?
Absolutely. I would love it, honestly, more if you guys just came to shows. I need to sell some tickets.
Oh my God. Always the business.
No, they need a comp.
They get free tickets.
Yeah, they need a comp.
I'll pay for that. So we don't have anybody who's interested out of all of you guys.
Wait,
I
that
don't
would be
think
great,
it's that.
actually.
I think it's just putting us all on the spot. So I think
Yeah,
it's like, when you asked us quietly when we went to the bathroom, people raised their hands. So, just.
No, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm throwing shit at the wall.
It's just dinner. It's just not the most serious
Right,
thing.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, totally.
Which is actually what Colby and Lauren both kind of predicted, like that Erica had like an open personality. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to meet him and have dinner, and I'll buy you dinner. But if you're not, if it's like, Okay. Well,
these are so good.
That's good. And
I mean, it would be a fun time. I think any of us would have a great time.
And Colby actually mentioned that it would be a yes with a question mark. And she is, and then actually, you put an orange line through Erica's name. This is Erica, correct? And she was also pointed out by Eddie as a 33, which is a big deal with a 3-day and a 3-year, which is she's spiritual, very spiritual.
Lots of threes, man.
Yes, and that's always a good thing. Okay, and maybe that you guys should definitely meet. If you guys want to go to his show, I will pay for all of you to go to his show
and bring friends. You can pay.
And you don't have to be, and you don't have to go on a date. I don't know, date is weird, but you have to win something. So I'll buy you guys dinner. How about that?
When's your show in Burbank? You have a show in Burbank.
Okay,
right
but
now.
yeah, I do have some stuff coming up, and I would like to plug them. I have this Saturday night. I'm at Flappers in Burbank, 9:30 p.m. show in the main room. That's going to be a great show.
Okay.
Then Tuesday, I will be at the Hollywood Improv, 9:30 p.m. In the lab. That also will be a fun show. Those are the two I have coming up that I really wanted to plug. Los Angeles, so it's Burbank and LA. Is Burbank LA? Should I know this?
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah.
So Flappers Comedy Club, Saturday night. What is that? The 24th?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Saturday the 24th, 9:30 p.m. Flappers in Burbank. And then we got Tuesday, 5/27, 9:30 p.m. Hollywood Improv. Tickets are available. You can find it all on my social media, John Campanelli 1. And I'll also be in New York City, July 26th. I'm doing Rodney's Comedy Club there. I'm actually,
fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How fun.
Yeah, that will be fun. I like.
New York's fun.
Yeah.
So, okay, those are the 3 places. If any of you girls want to go, I will set it up for you. Also, I want Lauren to come in and tell me since she sat here and really looked into the all the different girls and everything that was going on in the Zoom meeting. Who was your choice, by the way?
Oh my God, that's, at the end of the day, it's hard to choose, because I want people to obviously make their own choice. But one of the best matches in terms of being able to maybe kind of work with each other. It's funny that Erica, that you raised your hand, I kind of felt like you had a little bit of that free spirit energy, because I think free spirits are the ones that, I work with comedians in my industry as a medium. Believe it or not, I work with a lot of comedians out here in New England. It's interesting that I think having a free spirit and fun energy can work really well with a beautiful mind when you meet comedians, because like you, John, you can see it. You've got a lot that kind of comes out very quickly, very funny. So I think somebody can keep up with that. So I was connecting with Erica. I also thought, I think it's Abigail. Where are you, Abigail? You're not in
Abigail,
my
yes.
It was another one.
Country music lover.
Yeah, I thought had a really fun, you could really kind of go and kind of be a bit spontaneous and energetic. So those were 2 of my top picks. And Ariel, I also had you in that one as well.
Yes. And then Eddie?
Yes.
What was your pick?
Okay.
Yeah, what was your pick?
The order I have them in is Erica first. And not just because you're the 33, 3, and 3. Okay. It's not because of that. It just was an energetic, vibrational match. And then second, or first runner-up, I'm sorry, is Jen.
Jen was in there, yeah.
And
I had 2 hearts on Jen at the beginning.
I did too. That's so weird. And then Abigail.
Okay.
And Ariel.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, we have a match. I'm going to give you that. You can mess with it, and we appreciate everybody for coming. And we have all your information. I will send you links to his comedy shows, so you can go. And if you want to go, I will pay. And then also I really appreciated all the psychic mediums that. Can I have that paperwork back again? Yes. For coming out today. It's. I'm sorry the ending. I asked you guys who wanted to do it, but I don't know. This is our first time, so I guess there's no winner or loser. Obviously, you guys are all lovely, and everybody had a good time. And you can find Colby Rebel at Colby Rebel Medium on Instagram, TikTok. She's got a lot of TikTok advice there you can get, and on Facebook, Colby Rebel, YouTube, Colby Rebel Medium. Hey, Colby, do you have your podcast or your shows now that you do?
Yeah, it's getting relaunched this month or early next month.
Oh, good.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh, good. And what's it called?
The Colby Rebel Show.
Colby Rebel Show that's on YouTube, correct? Or is it just on Facebook?
Yeah.
On Facebook?
YouTube, all the platforms. Mm-hmm.
And then she also does intuitive work with people who are intuitive, and she has a school. Go to colbyrebel.com, I believe. Mm-hmm. Is that your website now? I got it right. Oh my gosh.
You did get it right.
Anyway, she's an amazing medium. And thank you so much for doing this today. I know John really appreciates it. And then also Lauren Rainbow is at Lauren Rainbow Medium on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Wait, on Pinterest, how does that work?
I was going to say, I don't know why that's there. I don't really use Pinterest anymore. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok are the best.
I usually find my mediums on Pinterest.
MySpace.
Like, that's old information. I'll have to update that.
MySpace, okay, Cupid.
If you want to book a reading, you go to her website, which is
LaurenRainbow.com.
Yes. And she is like I said, clairvoyant, empathic, sentient.
Now, Lauren, can I
just
ask
call
you
me a
something?
psychic medium. You sure can. You sure can.
Is that okay? I was going to add that's what the appropriate.
Psychic medium.
Psychic medium is like the appropriate title.
But people who are clairvoyant can actually connect with dead people. Like, and talk about them, and they can communicate.
No,
so
Susan,
can Colby.
that's not right. No, Susan, clairvoyant is a way of connecting. Yeah. So clairvoyant is the gift of sight, clear sight. You can use that psychically or mediumistically. Someone who connects to the dead is a medium. Someone who connects to someone in the living is a psychic. Someone who does both is a psychic medium.
Thanks, Colby. Love you, girl.
Okay, thanks. I got to get my terminology straight. And then Eddie Connor, of course, last but not least, and always here.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. He's scared. He's not scared anymore. And
no.
We were scared in the beginning.
I was.
And we sniffed each other's butts. And
sniffed. Yep.
We're so cool.
Sniffed them.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously, you can find him at eddieconnor.com and also Eddie Connor Soul on Instagram and X Soul Intuitive. I would go to Eddie Connor Soul. I think he's there more on Instagram.
Yes.
And our all of the women that came, Ariel, Jen, Sophie, Adrienne, Abigail, and Erica, Megan, God bless you. And, maybe if you go see his show and you guys become friends, that'd be great, because he's a nice guy. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, everyone was cool. It could have been a lot. I tried to make it awkward at the end. I'm not going to lie. I appreciated doing that though.
Job.
I really wanted to make it cringe. I was like, this isn't going weird enough. I gotta figure this out. Come on. I could have gotten way worse, but you guys were all great. It wasn't weird at all. A Zoom speed dating is what even is that? You know, and it was.
And I would like to make a TV show out of it where you actually get to go on, and you have like 20 people, and then they hook up, and then the psychics help them, because I think that just learning about people's numbers and their whatever's going on in their life, from a psychic medium can really help you decide if you're a match with somebody.
Oh, I think it's a great concept.
I just have an instinct about it, but I'm a little psychic too. It could be a show. But anyways, we are going to enjoy these cupcakes that I got for Colby for her anniversary, because today's her 1-year wedding anniversary. She has been married to a lovely man. And I've known her for 15 years, and she's happily married. So God bless you. And thanks for coming on, calling out with Susan Pinsky. Happy anniversary. Love is in the air. And we're going to eat cupcakes now.
Yes.
Although John's already had 2.
I'm done. I did. Thanks.
All right. And we'll see you next week. The next show is Dr. Drew's here.
Dr. Drew, Dr. John, nice to meet you.
We're going to have Ask Dr. Drew coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned. We have a great guest, and I look forward to seeing you there.
The Wellness Company knows that taking charge of your family's healthcare is a top priority, and that's why they're constantly innovating to deliver the products and services to help you be rationally ready. Be sure to have the medical kit for kids on hand, whether you're a parent or grandparent. It treats 20 childhood conditions, including nausea and vomiting, allergies, asthma, inflammatory illnesses, even bioterror, God forbid. Listen, croup, ear infections, lice, it's all available in the pediatric emergency kit. You can also order the kids kit with an EpiPen should your child be at risk of anaphylaxis. And those EpiPens are carefully sourced and well priced relative to other EpiPens in the market. All 7 kits, each customized for a different purpose, come with a telemedicine consultation and a guidebook. Skip the scramble to an urgent care waiting room full of sick people and expense, or a pharmacy where there's no guarantee they'll have what you need. Go to drdrew.com/TWC for 10% off any medical emergency kit, or the supplements for that matter. That again is drdrew.com/TWC.